Dear student, today we will discuss about, I have written on the right hand side, distance and displacement, speed and velocity, and some numerical problem related to this. And actually this is under the motion in a straight line chapter. If you have skipped my previous video, so watch it first. You can see in your screen there is the I button. Tap on the I button and you can see my previous video. So okay, so first of all we will start from distance and displacement. Very easy. First of all, we give the description about the distance. So distance, you know, if a body, if a particle traversed or traveled in distance, the total path is known as the distance. So you can write in this way: total path traveled. So total path traveled or traversed by a body is called distance. And if you give us some example, suppose the body started journey from A and finally goes to point B, terminal point is B, then the total path means if you try to measure the path from here to B, or you can try to measure the path from B to A, whatever may be, total path will be the distance. So this total path will be the distance. Now this is one definition. I have given you definition first. So distance, you can measure distance from A and you can go to B, and you can also try to measure from B and finally come to A. So it has no direction. So you only take the magnitude. So it is actually called the scalar quantity. Scalar quantity. Unit. It is measured in unit in SI unit. So it will be SI unit. SI unit. It will be, so SI unit, distance traveled. So total path traveled, it will be in meter. Positive, negative or zero. So distance must be positive. Always it has some value. So when you take the measurement, it will always be positive. So it will be positive. Some value obviously will come. It will not be zero. Some path always traveled. So if you take the distance, if you want to measure distance, the body has been traveled. So some path will be, obviously will be there. So it will not be zero and not be negative, and side by side we will compare the displacements also. So right here displacement. Already you have some knowledge about distance and displacement, but I'm recapitulating. Now displacement will be the shortest distance measured from initial point to final point is known as displacement. So what is displacement? Displacement is shortest distance measured from initial point to the final point is known as the displacement. So if you take the same example here, we have started journey and finally reach to the point B, A. Then what is the shortest distance? Then you know the straight line will be the shortest distance. So from A to B, this is actually the initial point, and this will be the final point. So from initial point to the final point, the straight line by which we have connected the point A and B, that straight line, the length of the straight line will measure the value of the displacement, and direction will be from initial to final. And scalar or vector, so obviously it will be vector quantity. It will be vector quantity, because I have told you the shortest distance, obviously the value, or actually this is known as the magnitude, but it has some direction from initial point to final point. So that's why it is vector. The SI unit will be obviously here also meter, expressed in meter in a system, and positive, negative or zero. So value will come as positive. It may be positive, it may be negative, it may be zero also. So if you take some example, suppose the previous video I have told you the origin, we have take some origin from where we'll describe our motion. So if we take the origin here, that is O, and it will be suppose positive direction, and it will be your negative direction along x-axis, because we have describe, we have one dimensional motion we'll consider. That's why I have taken one straight line here, and if it is negative, so it will be positive, +1, +2, +3, -1, -2, -3. So if the displacement is if the displacement is occurring in this direction, it will be taken as positive. If it is going, if the displacement is in the opposite direction of the previous direction, then it will be taken as negative. And if the body started journey from this origin O and finally come back to the position O, then the displacement will be 0. Then we will take it 0. So if we take some example here, suppose it has started journey from A and going to the point B, reached the point B, then what will be the displacement here? So displacement, you know, the shortest distance between the initial point and the final point, then it will be, so if the radius will be r, then 2r will be the displacement. And what will be the distance here? If it is 2 pi r, you know, the periphery, whole periphery will be 2 pi r, so half of that, it will be half of that, 2 pi r by 2, so it will be pi r. So pi r will be distance and 2r will be displacement. Okay, I'm giving one more example on that. Suppose a body started journey from A, that is 4 meter, and going to here, started journey from A and going to point, suppose C via B. Then what will be, and BC will be 3 meter, then what will be the total distance here? Total distance will be 4 plus 3 is equal to 7 meter. Then what will be the displacement? I have told you displacement is the shortest distance between the initial point and final point. So this is the initial point, this is the final point. So from initial point to final point, you have to draw one straight line. Okay, so this straight line, the distance of this straight line will give you the magnitude of the displacement, and direction will be from initial point to final point. Root over 4 square plus 3 square, 5 meter. Displacement is will be 5 meter, distance will be 7 meter. So from this relation, you can understand that distance always be greater than displacement. It's not always. You can keep in your mind that distance will be greater or equal to the displacement. You know, if it is straight line, if the body moves in a straight line, then distance and displacement will be same. If the body moves in a straight line in a particular direction, if the body moves in a particular direction in a straight line, then displacement and distance will be same. But if doesn't move in a straight line, then distance always be greater than with respect to the displacement. Now we will discuss about the speed and velocity. But before that, very simple and very important point I will just discuss with you, that suppose in a particular time is a factor, you know, time, what is time? So time, you know, there is a point, time and tide wait for none. So it always be flowing. It doesn't depend on factor, but it always keeps flowing. That is time. And there is a simple point, simple but very useful theory is that one particle, one body, it cannot occupy two different positions in the universe in a same time. Again I repeat, a single particle, a single body cannot occupy two different location, two different position in a same time. I am here at this time. Suppose now it is, now this is 10 o'clock. I am just here, I am just this location in my home, but I cannot occupy the other location at 10 o'clock. So this is the very important theory. So that's why in a single time, two positions A or B, a body cannot occupy A and both B in a same time, that is 10 am. So if a body want to move from A to B, it will take some time. That is the meaning. It will take some time to move. If the body want to move from A to B, or if the body moves from B to A, whatever may be, it will take some time. So suppose two bodies are here, they are trying to move from A to B, so they will take time. Obviously they consume some time. So each and every body, they will not the same time to reach B, they will take different time. Okay, it depends on some factors. So that's why, who is faster, who is slower, how do you guess? It can be understood, it can be realized by a physical quantity that is known as the speed. Speed means distance traveled in unit time is called speed. So it can be written in this way: speed v is equal to distance by time. So this is nothing but the speed. So per unit time, how much it will traverse path, how much path it will traverse. So comparing on this thing, you can check out which is faster, which is slower. So it is very important physical quantity in our life. So that is speed. SI unit of speed will be meter per second. Side by side, I am just comparing with the velocity also. So what is velocity? Velocity. So it is nothing but the displacement. The displacement measured in unit time. It is also unit time. Is called velocity. Okay. So this is velocity. The unit will be also meter per second. It is also a displacement, also a distance. It is the shortest distance. So distance per unit time, so meter per second. Now the third point, scalar or vector. So speed, it only magnitude, it has only magnitude, it is deriving from the distance, so it is the scalar. Vector, because I told you displacement is a vector quantity, so displacement by time will also be a vector quantity in a particular direction. So you have to consider not only the magnitude but also the direction. So it involves both magnitude and direction. Number 4. Now the fourth point, positive, negative and zero. Speed, I have told you speed is deriving from distance and distance always be positive, so speed always be positive. And the velocity is deriving from displacement. I have told you displacement may be taken as positive, negative as well as zero. So velocity must be positive, negative as well as zero depending on the situation. Now the fifth point, suppose a body moves in a uniform speed. What is uniform speed? That means in equal interval of time it traveled the equal distances. Okay, so the body, we can say it is under uniform speed, but we cannot guarantee it as the body is moving with a uniform velocity, but we have not considered the direction. The distance is equal, but we have not considered direction. Direction may be different. If direction is different, then the velocity will be different. So we can write here. So we can talk about, if a body moves with a uniform speed, then we cannot confirm that the body is moving with a uniform velocity. But the opposite can be true. Opposite must be true. If a body moves with a uniform velocity, then the velocity must be under uniform speed, because uniform velocity means in equal interval of time the body traveled a equal displacement, means the shortest distance are equal as well as the direction is also equal. But if we skip the direction, then we come back to the speed. So this body is moving in equal interval of time, equal displacement. So displacement, it just containing two things, one magnitude, one direction. So if we just omit the direction, then there will be magnitude. So the body moves in equal interval of time, equal magnitudes it traverses, and then it will come back to the speed. So that's why we are talking about, if a body moves in uniform velocity, it must be in uniform speed, but the opposite is not true. Sixth point will be that speed can be classified into two parts. It will be classified into two parts. One is uniform, I've told you before, and second will be known as the non-uniform. And non-uniform, sometimes it is called variable. From this segment, non-uniform variable, one physical quantity will come, that is average speed. If you take a longer time interval, then the body's characteristics can be defined by the average speed. if we take a very small interval of time, very small, very small interval of time, then come instantaneous speed, instantaneous speed. Now the same way in the 6th point, so now we will emphasis on this segment, the classifications of speed and velocity. We have redrawn the figure once again. Speed can be classified into uniform speed. It will be uniform speed. What is uniform speed definition? I have told you, if a body travel equal in equal time, equal interval of time, equal distance. Then if we give the example, suppose a body moves from A to B and it contains total 3 seconds and covers suppose 3 meter. In first second it covers 1 meter, second covers 1 meter, third second covers 1 meter. So equal interval of time the body traveled equal distances, so we can write it, and then we can call this type of motion, this type of speed is called uniform speed. In the same way here also uniform velocity, if a body such type of thing, the first second moves 1 meter displacement, so instead of distance we write here displacement. If 1 second 1 meter displacement, second 1 meter displacement, third second also 1 meter displacement, so we can write the body is under uniform velocity. That means if a body traveled or traverse equal displacement in equal interval of time, then we can call this is the uniform velocity. If a body moves unequal distances in equal interval of time, then we can call the body's motion is non-uniform or can be variable. So in that case, the average speed and instantaneous speed, the two terms, two physical quantity will appear. So if you take a large amount of interval, a longer interval, so in a longer interval, suppose in a 10 minute, 1 hour, the body moves, the body started journey from A and goes to final point B, and in a longer time interval, 10 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 1 hour, 10 hour, then we have to consider the average velocity. If we call a body moves in a 50 km per hour, it doesn't mean that each and every segment of the journey, the body, each and every second, each and every moment, the body keeps its velocity, keeps its speed as 50 km per hour. It may be sometimes less than 50 km per hour, sometimes it will be greater than 50 km per hour. On an average, the body moves in a 50 km per hour. Suppose I am just giving one example. I have to go from point A to point B by motorcycle. If the road is clear, no crowded places there, so the velocity, the speed will be greater. So at the time it will be suppose 60 km per hour. But where there is a crowded place, market is there, or sometime crowded region is there, we have to come down our speed. Suppose at that time it is 20 km per hour. Okay, and sometimes in the journey we have also come to stop, so velocity, the speed will be at that time will be 0. So including all these things, suppose in 2 hours we have traveled the 100 km distance. So from A to B total distance is 100 km and 2 hours we have traveled that. So on an average it is 50 km per hour, but I have told you each and every segment, each and every interval of time, it was not 50 km per hour. So that is average speed. So how do you calculate average speed? So calculation will be, body is moving from A to B, and first T1 interval of time, the body traveled S1 distance, T2 interval of time, the body traveled S2 distance, and T3 interval of time, the body traveled S3 distance. So on this raw data we can find out the average speed. Average speed will be total distance traveled by total time taken. Yes, it will be S1 plus S2 plus S3 by total time T1 plus T2 plus T3. Then you can calculate the average speed. What is instantaneous speed? Suppose we have taken a longer interval, but if we take the shorter interval of time, that is in 2 hours we have crossed 100 kilometer. So 2 hours means so many seconds. Each and every second, each and every moment, the instant, each and every instant, what was the speed? Can you calculate that speed? It is not that. We have taken the average speed in the longer time interval, that is delta t. But instantaneous speed is what? Our speedometer tracks the speed. Speedometer measured a instantaneous speed. That means speed at that time, speed at that instant. So it can be instantaneous speed, and then time interval will be very small, and it can be denoted by dt. The longer interval can be denoted by delta t. The smaller interval can be denoted by dt. So in that case, differentiation will come. In that case, the differentiation, one important tool in mathematics, will come. So I will give one class on differentiation, what is useful things of mathematics in physics. I'll just emphasis on that part only, and for that I will give you one extra video. So next class I will clarify you what is instantaneous speed by differentiation. So it is a part of differentiation. Same thing, what is uniform velocity? I have told you. What is non-uniform velocity? Average velocity. So same thing, what is the average velocity? Average velocity will be equal to the total displacement by total time taken. Displacement s1 plus s2 plus s3 by t1 plus t2 plus t3. Okay, now emphasis. Now we will emphasis on the numerical problem related to this topic. Now the problem is, one boy moves 30 meter in the east direction in 2 seconds and come back 15 meter in the west direction in 1 second. Then find out the average speed and average velocity. So for that we have taken A, started journey from A, finally goes to point B, and this is east direction, that is 30 meter in east direction, and come back to the 15 meter in the west direction. Then what is the average speed? So average speed will be, the formula of average speed will be average speed, that is total distance by total time. So total distance here 30 meter plus 15 meter by total time, that is 2 plus 1. So it will be 15 meter per second. So average speed is a 15 meter per second. Number 2, average velocity. So average velocity means the body started journey from A, finally goes to B and come back to the point, suppose C. So what is the initial point? This is initial point. What is the final point? This is final point. So what is the distance, shortest distance between the initial point and final point? So this one. So it is 30 meter, it is 15 meter, remaining is 15 meter. So total displacement by total time taken. So here displacement is 15 and total time taken, the same time taken, that is 2 plus 1 3. So it will be 5 meter per second. From the results you can see it is 15 meter second, it is 5 meter per second. So average speed always be greater than the average velocity. Sometimes it will be equal when it moves in a straight line and in a particular direction. Okay, so it is our second problem. Bus travels from A to B in v1 speed and come back to the A with v2 speed, then find out average velocity and average speed. Then draw the, so A to B, bus moving from A to B in v1 speed and come back to B to A, that is v2 speed. Then find out the average velocity and average speed. And you know the average velocity is nothing but average velocity is equal to total displacement by total time. So total displacement, so if it started journey from A, finally come back to A, so total displacement will be 0. Time taken, we don't know time, whatever may be the time, so it will be t, so it will be 0. So average velocity, it will be 0. Answer will be 0. Answer will be 0. So what will be average speed? Average speed will be, so average speed. So total distance by total time. So total time, total distance is not given in the question, total time also not given in the question. Then how do you find it out? So consider the distance from A to B. Suppose it will be D. Consider the distance from A to B is D. So total distance will be D for going from A to B, and from B to A it will also be D. So total distance will be D plus D is equal to 2D. And total time, so this D distance covers in V1 speed. So total for time taken will be T1 is equal to D by V1. D by V1. The returning time will be T2. Then it will be D by V2, because returning time velocity speed was V2. So it will be D by V2. So 2D here, take common D, 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. So it will be 2 by V1 V2 V1 plus V2. So finally it will be 2 V1 V2 V1 plus V2. Okay, this question comes as, you know, MCQ type. So options will be given in this way. First option, V1 plus V2 by 2. Second option, 2 V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. Third option, 1 plus V2 by 2 V1 V2. And fourth option, 1 V2 by 2. The student just reading the question, they tick in the first mark, V1 plus V2 by 2, V1 plus V2. So it will be wrong. It comes as 2 V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So second answer will be the right answer. In the same question, if we give, it is a suppose 40 km per hour and come back to the A with 60 km per hour, then what will be the average velocity? So average velocity will be same. So what will be the average speed? So what will be average speed? Average speed will be generally student will do the answer as 40 plus 60 by 2, 50 km per hour. Dear student, it will not come as 50 km per hour. It will be, I have given you the formula, it will be 2 V1 V2 by V1 plus V2. So 2 into V1 V2, 40 into 60 by 40 plus 60. So it will be 2 into 40 into 60 by 100, 48 km per hour. Looking into the question, you can face it will be like that, 40 plus 60 by 2. No, it will not come out as 40 plus 60, 100 by 2 is 50 km per hour. It will be 48 km per hour. According to our formula, what was the formula? Total distance by total time. Thank you for watching my video. And next class, we will emphasize on the graphical method, different type of graphs related to this chapter, speed, velocity, uniform, non-uniform, and obviously we will provide focus on the differentiation, instantaneous speed. And wait for that, and don't forget to subscribe my channel for next videos. Thank you.